Hello, humans! Welcome to episode 34 of the Pretty Twisted Yarns podcast. This is my little space in the universe where I share all about yarn and different things I've been doing with it. I'm a full-time indie yarn dyer, and I knit, and I'm currently obsessed with color work. I have a lot to share with you guys. Today, I have quite a bit of knitting, I think, for me. I have a knit along that I'm going to talk about, as well as some events that are coming up. So, without further ado, let's get into the nitty gritty. Do you want to, though? Should we? Okay, we'll do it. Okay, my first work in progress is a cowl. It's a basic doodle cowl by Pacific Knit Co., who is Jamie Lomax, and she has patterns for like full infinity cowls as well as cowls that are single-sided. And I'm using the Valentine's Day expansion pack from last year. So she does have on her website where you can buy charts only and then mix and match your doodles to suit your needs. I cast this on intending to make it an infinity cowl. But then I had another idea for an infinity cowl, which I'll show you in a second. So I decided to make it a single-sided cowl. So how I did that was I just dropped, I had cast on here. So I dropped down to my provisional cast on. I used try-it-on tubing and I just picked the stitches up with another set of needles. So now I can just knit ribbing and have it be a single-sided cowl. I don't know if this is anything Jamie recommends or anything, but if you're starting one of these doodles, you could just do a provisional cast on and then decide if you're done knitting, you just knit the ribbing and you're done. Otherwise, an infinity cowl, you could just keep knitting and knitting and knitting, which is super fun, but I have other plans for that. So I'm obsessed, clearly. This is a lot of knitting for me. I cast this on. It's on my Ravelry project page, I believe. So I will hopefully leave a link to that down below. I'm trying to get better about the linkage. But yes, so I'm using my hand-dyed yarn. And this is actually a kit I have available in my shop, prettytwistedyarns.com. It comes with a 100-gram skein of my solid white. This is called Like a Virgin. Like Madonna, white like a virgin. And Wanderlust, which is just a really beautiful, deep plum eggplant kind of color. I'm in love with this one. So those two. And then this color right here and this color right here are both Desire. It's looking more orange here, but it actually is more of like a neon red. Let me just insert something here. I'm using my webcam and my lighting is different today. So I'm kind of working around we're moving everything around. That's why my background is not fancy and the lighting might not be great. Also, the window's open, so the light might change. But this is a neon red. Ooh, I could insert an actual picture of it here, and maybe that will be more accurate. I'm also trying to look at my camera and not at my face, so pardon the setup this week. I'm working with what I have. So yes, Desire. And Chronic Blushing, which is the really pretty pink that I use on these flowers here. Just a really pretty soft kind of baby pink. And then Temptation. Yeah, the colors aren't coming out great on here, guys. I apologize. My Instagram feed has much better representation of the colors. And if you didn't know, you can find me on Instagram as at Pretty Twisted Yarns. That's the only place I'm really active. I need to get better about like threads and Facebook, and it's just a lot of social media to keep up with. But yeah, I'm pretty much Pretty Twisted Yarns everywhere except Ravelry. I'm just Pretty Twisted. Accurate. So Temptation is the color of the hearts here. And I'm really happy with the results. There's some mistakes, and what I'm going to do is just, because I wove my ends in as I knit. And I'll try to link a video down below. I believe I learned it from Nitty Natty of how to work your ends in as you knit so that you don't have to go back and weave in all the ends. My friend Vanessa, a Nitty Witch, or just Nitty Witch, she was like, yeah, but if you have to rip back, and I was like, ooh, yeah, I didn't think about that. But anyway, that's my point. I'm happy with the results. When I'm looking at it, when I took a picture of it in black and white, I could have chosen maybe better contrast on certain ones, but I'm learning a lot about that in color alchemy right now. So hopefully you don't. But I mean, it's still beautiful. I'm not going to change it. Oh, and what I'm going to do, like if there's a mistake, I'm just going to duplicate stitch it the color that it's supposed to be. That was from a reel that I saw Whitney from Moonglow Yarn Co. made like maybe in December. Yes, so I'm super happy with this. So the kit comes with 100 gram skein of Like a Virgin, and then 50 gram skeins of these colors. It includes a full pattern of your choice from Jamie Lomax Ravelry. That's where you can use those, I believe, but I'll leave all the information and links down below in the description box. And it also comes with a custom progress keeper from Vix Knits, which of course I don't have right here with me. It's really cute, and I'll insert a picture here. So I'm going to talk about this a little bit more coming up here in a few minutes. But first, if your eyes are sensitive to things like staring at the sun for an hour, turn the brightness on your monitor down a little bit, because I'm about to show you something. You know what it is, don't you? Okay, so this is the infinity cowl that I'm gonna knit because all the yes. Oh my goodness, okay. There's like things coming from everywhere. Okay, so this is what I'm going to make an infinity cowl. And I did my provisional cast on using, I've heard them called like stitch savers, try it on tubing. It's basically the silicone tubes that you can stick your needle tip into to almost like a lifeline. Yeah, and sorry guys, these colors are a little bit blown out. But look, I see a mistake right here. I ain't gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna put a duplicate stitch in there. Thanks, Whitney. Okay, so I'm referring to this as my disco doodle. Here's the plan, man. In hindsight, I should have started with the Arctic cowl so that I wanted to do it month by month and just keep knitting and knitting and knitting. But I didn't. So I'm starting with like Valentine's motifs of all of my neon colors as I create them, because I plan on creating quite a few fades and so many ideas in my head that from this color alchemy course. So far what we have on here is I'm holding my solid black, Don't Fear the Reaper, the whole time as the background. And it is a DK weight 8515 superwash merino nylon, super, super soft. So the whole background is Don't Fear the Reaper. We have Desire. This is all blown up. It's bright, but like it's a little blown out here. These colors are hard to photograph, y'all. This is Pinky Promise. This is a new orange, which is not showing up accurately either. It's not Safety Dance. It is called Orange You Glad. And okay, so Safety Dance is basically Safety Orange by Dharma, just at a specific degree of strength, just one dye. What I did with this one was I used a primary neon pink and a primary neon pink. Okay, so pink technically is not a primary, right? Red is, but magenta is also a primary. So pink, like I think hot pink from Prochem, fluorescent fuchsia from Dharma, those are all primaries. So I used hot pink from Prochem and fluorescent lemon from Dharma Trading Co. to make my own orange because I love Safety Dance. I love Safety Orange. But what I'm trying to do with this color alchemy class is create colors that I really, really envision, not just from a jar that I could buy. And sometimes the consistency from jar to jar of dye powder is not the same. So anyways, that's my goal, is to create my own color palette, my own color box, crayon box. Anyhow, that's Orange You Glad. That, as well as I know a lot of you guys are anticipating the neon peach. I have it dyed. I have the formula recorded. I need photos. So that will be in the shop update coming up on Friday. See, I prepared myself for, I knew I wouldn't know what date it was. Friday. That's December. That's January. 25th, Friday the 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern if you are a member of my Die Hard community. I'll also leave details for how you can join the Die Hard community in the description box. But the pink that I used is Pinky Promise. So this is one of my neon pinks. It's more bubblegummy, and it does glow under black light. I have another colorway that I don't have here called Come On Barbie, which is brighter and more fuchsia than Pinky Promise. Okay, so we did that. And then, okay, I showed all glown up. That's here as well as here. And this is the skein. This one fluoresces like a mofo in the black light. This one. It's weird because they're all fluorescent, but some of them have different fluoresces. Like they don't all fluoresce the same. But then this one almost glows in the dark. This is where you might, warn your people in your house to shield their eyes. So I'm using Lemon Grab. But it's wonderful. It's literally like highlighter yellow. So that's what I used here. I'm super bummed I don't have good lighting today. It's okay though. It'll be ready for next week. So yeah, right? I'm going to do an infinity cowl. So as I create neon or even just bright colors, even if they don't, in my book, count as neon, whenever Jamie releases a new doodle, I'm going to add it with the tonals that I created. So then at the end of the year, hopefully I'll just have a really big, long blacklight poster. Right? And I'm trying really hard to make Rhinebeck happen this year. Really, really hard. I have a coffee account down below if you want to help me get to Rhinebeck. I'm just kidding. Kinda. We're working on it. I got some people. We're working on seeing how I can maybe get to Rhinebeck. But how awesome would it be to just have this on at Rhinebeck? Just this infinity cowl that just wraps around and around and around, and it is just black light. I mean, I'm just saying. I can't get enough. I love it. So then the next motif, I'm going to do a floral because it's kind of doing heart, floral, heart, floral. It wasn't necessarily too concerned about the size of each chart too much, although I am designing it and coloring it digitally using a program called Knitting Chart so that I can see. What's cool about that is what's cool about knitting chart is I can put my color, I can scan it in and put my exact color on the chart so I can see what it will look like. So I'm designing it on it, but I didn't design the whole thing. I'm doing it as I go because I don't know. Like I said, as doodles come out, I want to add to it because I am obsessed with color work. How do you knit color work? Do you hold both? If you're a continental knitter, do you hold both strands in your left hand, or do you hold one strand in your left hand and one strand in your right hand? Is color dominance a thing? I'm here to tell you it is. Ooh, is that a controversy? I don't know, but it's a thing. Color dominance. That's something I could show. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. I have a pretty cool setup now where I would be able to show you guys how I did the provisional cast on with try it on tubing, and then how I knit color work. I trained myself to do this because I'm very much a natural continental knitter. Um, what's funny is I started out as a thrower. I knit English, and I saw somebody knitting continental and that it was faster and more efficient. So it was hard, but I like taught myself to knit continental probably in like 2012. Um, and now I'm very, very like continental handed knitter. But I really, really practiced. I was knitting, was this sweetheart socks that Natalie Nitty Natty came out with one time. I finished those, and then I finished a colorwork cowl by my friend Aquila that was also hearts. So I practiced this then, and when I picked this up, it just kind of came right back to me. But basically, I put the background color in my right hand on my right side, and then I put, let's just pretend like this is the next color. I knit, right? So I'm doing my uh not main color, but so my background color is here on my right, and then my color that I want to pop is on my left, and then I pick that one, and then I throw this one. So I've gotten pretty good at it, and it kind of makes me feel like a badass, and I love it. But I had to really like teach myself how to do it. I've tried like holding both strands in my left hand, and that worked pretty good for the most part, but they'd still get twisted. And then I also did to where I would just completely put one strand down and pick the other one up and use it, which is totally fine too. That way your tension is like super even, but it takes longer. So I think I've gotten a little bit faster at color work just from practicing these doodles. They're very highly addictive. I'm not even mad about it because there's way worse things you could be addicted to than diddles. There's worse things you could be addicted to than diddles. Welcome. Oh my gosh, you guys. Anyhow, so yeah, dude, it's just so funny because I'm taking the Color Alchemy course, the Color Alchemy Masterclass by Alana Wilcox. Um, and right now, we're doing assignments where we're dyeing like uh, tonals, like solid colors, right? Like we're not doing like variegated or anything yet. So I'm kind of obsessed with tonals right now, anyways. Clearly. I can't even like, oh my god, I'm so unorganized today. I don't know. I love how customizable it can be. I used the same expansion pack on both of these, and it's a completely different vibe and a completely different feel. This is like the good side of me, and this is like the disco side of me. Okay, let's go to a rave in LA underground. I don't do that anymore. I don't recommend it. Probably not safe. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun in the dye pots. So speaking of doodles, here's what's going on, guys. Here's the situation. Okay, so I have a very, very good friend. Her name is Vanessa. She's also known as Nitty Witch on the Instagrams, as well as here on YouTube. You know her. Everybody knows her. She's fabulous. She and I are combining forces of good, although there may be some witchcraft involved. I can't guarantee there won't be any. We're doing a cowl. We're doing a knit along. It is called the Valen-doodle cowl. Her membership, we're doing this through our collective memberships. Her membership is the Coven of Crafters. My membership is Die Hard. So, kind of two different platforms offering different things. I belong to hers and she belongs to mine. So, the platform is amazing. It is everything all housed under one roof, very customizable. I invite you to join one or both of our memberships. With this specific knit along, it's going to be everyone who is in both of our memberships. We are kicking the knit along off on January 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be on my Zoom, but anybody in the memberships will have access to it. So, February 2nd, Jamie Lomax, Pacific Knit Co., is releasing a brand new Valentine's pattern. Guess who's grabbing that ASAP first thing in the morning? This bitch, because I want to knit all the doodles and dye all the tonals. So yeah, we're gonna have prizes. We will have like check-ins, and we'll have all those details started, but the knit along starts on January 28th. And like I said, join one or both of our memberships. And in my membership in Die Hard, it's kind of like behind the scenes studio vlogs, early access to shop updates, monthly coupon codes, uh, monthly Q&A, knit nights, Zoom chats. I haven't yet, just because I'm still taking this like really intense dye course, but I will start doing like live dye events. So I really am loving this platform, truly, and I invite you to join me over there. And then Vanessa's is awesome. She knows like everybody. When I am on Zooms with them, I'm like I meet someone new every time, and it's absolutely so much fun. So Vanessa is knitting me right now a sample of, it's a stocking from the Nightmare Before Christmas book that came out by Tanis Gray. And I paid her in yarn, and she's knitting one because my kids all want one. And I was like, I just don't really know if I'll have time to knit it. But I wanted to tell you guys a really cool story. So when I used to dye self-striping yarn, I wanted to create a watermelon self-striping colorway and failed miserably. It came out ugly, not anything like what I wanted. And this was before I had even launched like my Etsy shop. Just before. And I was like, okay, I got to do something with this skein. So I overdyed it. And it came out Goss Like Christmas too, is what I ended up naming it. It was like red, green, gray, and black. So when I was done, I was like, oh, this is cool. This kind of looks like, hey man, Goss Like Christmas too. So, but it was a mistake that I made. I made sure I could repeat it by dyeing it once and then over dyeing it. But another reason that led me to take the color alchemy class is because that is not a very efficient way to dye yarn. If I wanted a watermelon colorway, I should have, anyways, by the end of the course, I should be able to take a photo reference and accurately create it on yarn. So every time I had to dye self-striping Goss Like Christmas too, I had to dye it and then over dye it so that it was right. But anyway, what I did, now I have broken that color palette down so that it's not self-striping anymore, but they're now tonals. However, it's not the same exact red. The red Mary Cherry is my formula I made using primary dyes, as well as Help Me, I'm Feeling. That one, I had to keep the name, but I didn't want to keep making colorways that weren't as repeatable. So it is reformulated. And then Don't Fear the Reaper is the same. That hasn't changed. But anyways, she is knitting me one of those, and I'm very excited, and I lost my train of thought. And I've had like a crazy morning already. So I was like, I'm just going to record this on my computer and then not edit it. Good luck, everybody. This is always embarrassing. This happens on Zooms where I lose my train of thought. Okay, God's like Christmas too. Vanessa's knitting me a stocking. I'm paying her in yarn. She's an amazing human. So yeah, her membership is more like knitting than mine, and mine's more like dyeing. Not necessarily dyeing like tutorials, but just like behind the scenes. So with this platform, you can customize it and like make it however you want. Blows my mind. Okay. So Valen-doodle cowl showed you what I'm working on. Yeah, I think that's all I can talk about. I do have a few other things coming up that I will talk about. I may have already said this, but Orange You Glad and then the new neon pink will be in the shop update on Friday. I already said the date and I can't remember. It was 25th? Probably. No. Yes. 25th, 7 p.m. if you're a diehard member, 8 p.m. if you are anybody else in the world. I wanted to just show you. Okay, so with the Color Alchemy course, I'm getting an inserted photo right here. I chose my photo. I chose my collage. And I'm so proud of myself because I'm not tech savvy at all. And I'm learning so many like computer things. I love it. It's really fun, but intense. I'm pretty brain dead by the end of night after dyeing yarn all day and then learning about dyeing yarn after work. It's a lot. But this is the photo that I chose with the palette that I chose. And then the resulting like color squares next to the yarn squares. Like, I learned how to do all that. That's crazy. I know it's not like the best looking graphic in the world, but for your girl, that's pretty good for me. And I think you guys are going to be really, really excited about this colorway. And I think what I want to do with it is make a variegated and speckled colorway and then break down all the tonals and have it be like a collection that will be coming out in the spring. Spring? I don't know when. I finished the class February 2nd, so possibly March, although March is green. I feel like April would be like a good unicorn month. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I forgot 1 million things and that I talked a million miles an hour. I apologize. Sometimes my mind goes faster than my mouth, which may seem impossible because my mouth goes really fast. But you can most people speed people up to watch podcasts. You might have to slow mine down to understand me. But if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My email is prettytwistedyarns@yahoo.com. Yeah. Talked about the knit along, showed you my yarn. Lots of things coming up this year. This is the first year I've been able to like plan the year in advance because I wasn't like I didn't know like what the heck I would be doing, before my grandma died. I didn't really know what I would be doing in a year, so I couldn't plan anything. But also, I guess we're moving on to life now. We're all like doing really well, but as it comes up on the 1 year anniversary of Mimi's passing, we're having feelings and we don't like it. We being me. We all though. It's hard. It's super hard. Yeah, don't want to bum anyone out or anything like that, but it's just it's emotional. It's really hard. Okay, well, I'll tell you one thing. If you don't want to cry or like be emotional, um I'll see you next time. But I might have already said this on a podcast. I don't know where it was. I was going through some stuff, and there's still so much stuff in our house that's hers. And I found a Coach bag. Trace is not that bougie. Mimi apparently at one point in her life was. It was like almost brand new. And my physical therapist was like, you need to stop carrying that purse because, girl. And I'm like, okay. So I found this purse and it goes over your arm. So I'm like, I'm kind of sad to use it. Like maybe I should sell it. It's a Coach purse, but then I didn't want to sell it because it was hers. So it's like, just use it. Like it's a Coach purse. Just use it, whatever. But then I started to like empty it out. It didn't feel like anything was in there, but there was like tissues and stuff in there. So like she was in there still. And I cried a lot. That was sad. But I cleaned it out and I'm using it because she would want me to. So I am. All right, you guys. Well, that was Fast and Furious. Oh, I gotta show you one more thing. So at Christmas time, my Aunt Karen, who is my mother-in-law's sister, I met her one time at their 50-year anniversary. She made me this for Christmas. She made it the ceramic and hand painted all this. Oh my god, let's just see what's in here. Try it on tubing. A hair tie. Yeah, pretty normal stuff. Yeah. Okay, these are little, like, when you have interchangeable needles. And you need the little, like, lock key and the little grip. Oh, that's cute. Okay. There's nothing bad in here. Well, there wouldn't be anything bad in here. I was just like, oh god, who knows? And then I don't remember where I got this, but it's a Sally Prioress Keeper. Ooh, I'm keeping this out. I probably put it in there because it's over by like where I knit out in the living room. I probably have it in there intending to put it on one project or another. So I wouldn't say I'm being a monogamous knitter, but because this is so fun, it's like almost knitting something really gratifying when you finish a motif and then you get to change colors and do the next one. So it's almost like, yeah, it's one project, but oh man, I don't know. I can't put them down. Can't put them down. So thanks for putting up with my poor lighting and things happening around here. And if I forgot anything, I'll put it in the description box below. And I will have a studio vlog for the Die Hard membership up later this week as I dye the Yarn of the Month Club. Okay, I forgot. Yarn of the Month Club. I want your thoughts. Tell me down below. I made it to where I thought it would be really cool if it was a complete, like two extremes, right? Like a complete mystery club, or you knew everything. So with the complete mystery, it was like 100 grams of yarn. It could be one 100-gram skein, a 50-gram skein with 10 minis, a mini set, and then my Die Hard members would choose. And then they would also vote on like a photo. And I got to thinking, and I'll ask them too, but what do you guys think? I think it's maybe too much options. I think I should just do one skein of yarn, like a 100-gram skein, and then have the option of fingering or DK. What do you think about that? I think it would probably be easier it wouldn't really be easier for me one way or the other, because whatever they chose, then that's what I would dye. And then I'm thinking, again, I'll ask them, but I should probably put like an inspiration photo up prior, because I do also have, you can subscribe, like a Yarn of the Month subscription where it would show up every month. You are charged every month. You can cancel at any time and all that. That way you don't have to worry about like getting a spot. But I also have an option for one time. So like if you still wanted February, I have extras. So I'm not going to do it now because I have to ask the community, my Die Hard members, like what they think, because ultimately that's what the membership is about, of showing a inspiration photo here. If they ask them in time and they tell me before I post this, I'll put it here. But let me know like what your guys' thoughts on that. Should it just be more like you don't know the colorway or the inspiration, but you know it'll be 100-gram one skein, not like a sock set or whatever else? Cool. Yeah, so I'm gonna go get back to work because I actually have a whole bunch of yarn that needs to be have the acid added to it. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining me today, and you guys, until we speak again, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.